Hello friends, as the first light of dawn breaks over the Florida Everglades, fog hangs over the swamps. The air is thick with the buzz of insects and the smell of churned earth. It's eerily quiet, but you can feel the tension in the air. And then, suddenly, a Florida farmer discovers a nest of giant feral pigs right in the middle of his property. These aren't ordinary farm pigs, but 200-pound invasives ravaging his crops and wetlands, costing him millions of dollars. Tonight, we join this hardened farmer and his team of hunters as they chase down these giant feral pigs. Further down in Fort Myers, near the muddy shores of Lake Okeechobee, feral pigs are public enemy number one. They're tearing through Florida's farms like a tornado. According to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission, they cause more than $50 million, 0 cents, in damage each year, destroying crops like corn, peanuts and sugarcane. Local farmers are losing everything. Some are reporting losses of as much as $10,000, 0 cents, a season. What's more, the pigs are wreaking havoc on the fragile Everglades ecosystem, tearing up native plants, trampling ground nesting birds, and spreading diseases that threaten livestock. In these marshes, where cabbage oak palms meet freshwater marshes, the stakes couldn't be higher. John is a third-generation farmer who has had enough of the feral hog problem. His fields look like a war zone and he refuses to stand by and watch his property be destroyed any further. Now, he and a seasoned hunting guide are preparing for the most decisive wild hog hunt of their lives. They're not just packing 243 AJ-15 rifles, 12-gauge shotguns with barrel ammunition, They've got armoured vehicles and rebuilt hovercraft ready to plough through the mud and water of the Everglades, and nothing can stop them. This hunt isn't a game. It's a fight to protect Florida's land and economy. There are no limits on numbers or seasons. This is the only chance to mitigate the damage before these feral hogs wreak further havoc.
You don't want to meet him in a dark alley.
I'm gonna roll him that way.
Crazy, dude.
As the sun rose, the hounds began to sniff the air. The hovercraft roared through the swamp in search of the boar. The hounds barked loudly, following the trail of a huge boar. Suddenly, the boar emerged from a mass of mud and roots, and from it, a 200-pound boar charged straight at them. In a breathless moment, he raised his gun and aimed it at the boar, which fell in a cloud of dust. This was no longer a hunt, this was a battle for survival, and John was fighting to protect his land. To combat feral hogs, people are also combining spear hunting with hunting. In Fort Myers, some hunters still stick to the old ways, using spears to hunt ferally, respecting the animals and the land. A rifle can take down a boar from a distance, but using a spear requires you to get up close. And when the spear hits its target, it's not just the end of the chase, it's also a testament to the hunter's tenacity. A skilled hunter might take down a single boar, but that boar represents a victory achieved through raw skill, not technology. At the same time, it's a reminder that the hunter is still in control, even in a world dominated by gadgets. Wild boars in Louisiana are becoming a serious threat to agriculture. During corn harvest season, these invasive species invade fields, tearing up soil, destroying crops, and causing millions of dollars in yearly damage. One study found that wild boars could cost the United States $2.5 billion annually, and Louisiana is no exception. Wild boars running amok in the fields while many sleep right there, unafraid of humans, raise the question: are humans the cause of this problem? When humans encroach on their habitat, are we creating a greater threat to ourselves? Thanks to drone technology, Louisianans have been able to accurately monitor wild boars and quickly mitigate major damage. In 2017, this method helped them knock down more than 10,000 wild boars within the drone's flight area alone. This solution has proven to be highly effective, saving farmers time and money. When setting a trap for feral boars, it is important to keep the grass clear. If the grass is thick enough that the trap is hidden, the boars will easily avoid it without getting caught. Clearing the area creates an open space, making it easier for the hunter to see their tracks and place the trap in a strategic location. The type of trap used in Louisiana is a snap trap that automatically reduces human intervention. Setting a trap is not a simple job, and I have been involved in it a few times. You need to have patience because feral boars are not an easy invasive species to catch. Hunters in Louisiana must be experienced and have a keen sense of reading the tracks and signs of boars. They must be knowledgeable about how they behave . Hunters have to check every little detail from setting up the wire cage traps to setting up the surveillance cameras to make sure the traps don't accidentally go off. I remember the moment when the hunter set up the cameras at every sharp angle to track every movement in the area. How carefully the hunter pulled the cable and adjusted each position of the trap. At this time, the hunter also used fermented corn. A smart strategy because wild boars love it during harvest season. Have you ever faced this feeling? In Louisiana, corn bait has proven to be one of the most effective methods. Prepare fermented corn bait at least 3 to 5 days before deployment. The corn is fermented to create a special odour that attracts wild boars. Some people even use the method of feral corn in warm conditions to increase its attractiveness. According to a study by hunting experts, the success rate of traps using fermented corn can be as high as 70% compared to other methods. When setting up traps, a serious mistake that many hunters make is not ensuring that the traps are set properly. If the traps are not set to the required height of about 4 to 5 feet, wild boars can easily climb over and escape. This not only causes failure in hunting, but also poses the risk of being attacked by surprise. Wild boars, when caught in traps, can become aggressive and attack anyone who trespasses. If not met, the failure rate can be up to 20%. Have you ever made this mistake? Share your story below the video and let's learn together. A hunt like no other. This time, we leave Texas and head into the harsh deserts of Arabia. In 24 intense hours, the young hunters took down 130 wild boars, totaling 800 pounds, an achievement that set the competition ablaze. The hunt took place in April, when wild boars are known to move rapidly in search of water in the arid desert. With over $34,000 on the line, the hunters were not only fighting for honor, but also protecting their land from invasive species. Barren fields. An invasive species roam the Arabian desert. These monsters not only destroy pastures, but also flatten land and sabotage irrigation systems, causing serious damage to goat and sheep farms. According to a 2023 report, in the Al-Qasim region, soil quality has deteriorated, preventing natural grass from growing and forcing people to import feed at high costs. Meanwhile, the wild boar's reproduction rate is out of control, with a female giving birth to more than 12 piglets in a litter 2 to 3 times a year. What are we witnessing, and how dangerous will this invasive species be if no action is taken? Unlike the dense jungles, Arabia is a harsh land where temperatures can reach 120 dF during the day, making movement difficult. This is why hunters must combine tactics and powerful weapons. They use FN SCAR rifles that allow them to strike from a distance with great precision when their targets suddenly spring out. At the same time, they unleash Saluki dogs, a fast desert hunting dog breed. These dogs will push wild boars out of cover, forcing them to run toward the hunters where the bullets are waiting. Five Dot Arabia is not a place where everyone can freely hunt wild boar. The government only allows it in designated areas, such as the outskirts of Riyadh. These areas are hotbeds of wild boar population explosions, which have damaged water resources in this arid land. With a license, they are allowed to use heavy weapons and are exempted from hunting tax if they participate in invasive species control, but nothing comes without conditions. Only use registered weapons, monitored by the government, to avoid illegal hunting. If your area has any different wild boar hunting policies, please comment below. Wild boars are not easy prey to hunt. They have a very good survival instinct in dense bushes to avoid detection. But in winter, from November to February, they move more to find food, creating good opportunities for hunters to track them. According to regulations, hunters are only allowed to hunt adult males, avoiding hunting sows and young wild boars for humane purposes. But the real danger comes during the day. Hunters must maintain a distance of at least 50 yards to reduce some cases of wild boar's surprise attacks. You know that giant wild boars don't come from easy places. Only experienced hunters with special permits are allowed to hunt them. The harsh terrain doesn't allow for mistakes, and one wrong move can leave a hunter vulnerable to a 400-pound monster. Experienced hunters always keep an eye on the wind, always hunting upwind so their scent isn't picked up and their bullets fly as accurately as possible. A strong gust of wind can throw off a bullet's trajectory. The wild boars are ravaging Georgia, causing over 100 million USD in damage every year. They destroy cornfields, damage irrigation systems, and increase livestock attacks. My family lost 50% of our yield for several years, and I decided to stop this attack immediately by confronting them directly. According to Georgia law, we hunt legally with a license from the Department of Natural Resources, ensuring that every shot is ethical. What must we do to effectively hunt millions of wild hogs? In that situation, night wild boar hunting is our strength. The thermal scope illuminates heat signatures in the forest at night, helping us spot wild boars before they run away. But the batteries run out quickly and the scopes are very expensive. The speed of the Razor has proven to be the most advanced equipment, but its noise can scare the wild boars away from the hunting spot. The drone's signal is disrupted in dense forests. Every tool has its limitations, but when the signal weakens, we switch to direct coordination with the team on the ground using infrared scopes and additional tracking technology to ensure stable wild boar hunting. One night, deep in the mountains, we faced the biggest challenge of our wild boar hunting. Our drone spotted a massive boar weighing over 400 pounds, heading toward my field. If it reached the crops, I would lose everything. The drone's signal flickered and the thermal scope's battery light blinked red. I had everything ready, one shot in the scope with the Remington 700. The shot rang out and the beast fell just inches from the field. That moment, captured by my camera, was our victory, a filmmaker's proof that we can win this battle. Continuing our journey, the 4K camera on the drone tracks them from above, while the Polaris Razor quickly takes us to the ambush point. Georgia law requires us to report every wild boar knockdown, so we document every knockdown to stay compliant. This isn't just hunting, it's a responsibility. How is wild boar hunting regulated in your country? Additionally, to deal with the large number of wild boars, wild boar hunting from helicopters is legal in Georgia with a special permit, and our Bell 206 provides quick speed. The Winchester rifles with Leupold scopes give us high accuracy for fast-moving boars. When hunting from the air, hunters face the challenge of aircraft turbulence, so we use modern equipment to ensure a safe flight. This is America's fight, and we're not giving up. The most remarkable thing about using this modern equipment is that we can cover large areas in just a few minutes. However, helicopters are very fuel intensive, and their use over extended periods can contribute to environmental pollution. Why are Florida monkeys so aggressive toward humans? This puzzling question remains unanswered as attacks continue to escalate. Reports indicate that this year alone, there have been more than 300 monkey attacks in the city, leaving countless pedestrians vulnerable to unexpected attacks. These unpredictable encounters often result in hospitalizations, but fortunately, none have been fatal, thanks to quick medical response. If you or someone you know is in such a situation, call Florida Emergency Medical Services at 1-800-HELPF, FLA. According to some sources, in 2023, the world lost an area of primary forest equivalent to about 3.7 million hectares of primary tropical forest destroyed. In Florida, land expansion and logging have led to the loss of habitat for many animals, including monkeys. Although there are no specific figures on the area of forest lost and the number of monkeys affected in Florida, habitat loss due to logging is one of the reasons why monkeys become aggressive and attack humans to protect their territory. The number of monkeys attacking residential areas in Florida is increasing, causing the situation to get out of control. They not only steal food, but also attack agricultural areas, causing damage estimated at up to $50 million per year. Disrupting public order has a serious impact on the environment as they take food scraps from humans, degrading natural ecosystems and increasing the monkeys' dependence on artificial food sources. With the problem getting worse, Florida authorities have opted to use long-range rifles like the FX DRS Pro and FX Panthera that can target monkeys at ranges up to 600 yards. However, monkey hunting is not an indiscriminate act. Hunters must follow seasonal hunting regulations, with the main hunting season being from May to October, and the number of monkeys knocked down during this season can reach hundreds. In particular, monkeys are often active in dense areas and climb quickly, so hunters must keep a distance of at least 300 yards to avoid being detected. To assist in hunting, they use specialized binoculars that can accurately observe at ranges up to 1,000 feet to ensure each shot is accurate and humane. Monkey hunting occurs in rugged mountainous terrain concentrated in areas such as the Ocala National Forest. This difficult terrain requires hunters to develop specialized hunting skills, including observation techniques and mastering how to lie still and conceal themselves to avoid detection by monkeys. Training typically lasts 3 to 6 months and includes learning how to use weapons, identify monkey habitats and handle emergencies. The program is licensed and regulated by agencies such as the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, which ensures hunters adhere to safety regulations for monkey hunting. Monkey hunting is a common method of population control in the United States, but it raises many ethical concerns. Hunters must adhere to strict regulations to protect ecological balance and ensure safety. Environmental scientists work with hunters to minimize negative impacts such as disruption of the food chain. The state of Florida only allows hunters to hunt adult monkeys and does not allow the hunting of pregnant or juvenile monkeys. Snow-capped mountains tower above the mainland. Thick forests cover much of the island, and brown bears roam the open spaces along the coast. Waves constantly crash against the rocky shore. This is Kodiak, a remote island with harsh weather and rugged terrain. Some call it the Emerald Isle, others call it the Rock. But it is a serious physical and mental challenge for anyone who comes here. Decades ago, 3 large bear pelts were displayed on the wall of an old cannery in Olga Bay. The image spread throughout the hunting world, making Kodiak a prime destination for those looking to hunt some of the largest bears on Earth. Kodiak's history is woven with the Alituk people, who thrived here for millennia. Living off the land and sea, their culture revered the bear as a symbol of strength. Today, sparse agriculture, small cattle ranches and hayfields dot the island, but its true bounty is the salmon that flood its rivers. This abundance shapes the brown bear, fueling its massive size and nomadic habits as it roams from streams to meadows in search of fish and forage. The brown bear of Kodiak is a product of its environment. Salmon runs provide protein, while agricultural scraps, grasses, and even occasional livestock supplement their diet. This rich food supply breeds bears of legendary size, some exceeding 10 feet. Yet it also draws them closer to human settlements, fostering bold, opportunistic behaviour. The bear's survival hinges on its cunning, making it a formidable quarry for any hunter. Hunting Kodiak bears stirs a profound moral conflict. To take a life so majestic is both a triumph and a burden. Hunters revere the bear's strength, yet face the weight of ending it. Conservation balances this act with strict quotas that protect bear populations, ensuring their survival. For the hunter, the pursuit is not just a chase, but a meditation on respect, survival, and the delicate harmony between man and nature. The hunt demands meticulous preparation. The hunter equips himself for Kodiak's rough rain, cold and treacherous terrain. He studies the land, mapping bear trails and salmon streams. Strategy is key, glassing from ridges to spot bears, using calls to mimic sows in heat and stalking silently through alders. Patience is his greatest weapon, as mature boars often hide in snowy basins, emerging only when instinct compels them. The hunter climbed a steep ridge, the wind whipping against him, slowing his steps.
These approaches have been great at stopping the spread of some invasive species. Got any ideas for even better solutions? Drop your thoughts in the comments so we can all dive into it together. Thanks for sticking around and watching the whole video. If you liked it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And hey, be sure to tell your friends about us too so they can check it out. Bye and see you in the next video.